to his Discord account, he didn't say that there was a severe or continuous lapse in judgment, but no. This guy says he was haunted by a ghost that made him do this. This is not the only excuse he pulled, so here you go. Sorry it's a few days late. I had to finish up some work again, but I hope you enjoy. So this all started on a Sonic Discord server. Their user SSG3 had been banned for sexual misconduct involving minors, and naturally people wanted to know what happened, so they began asking. This is when this fucking guy comes in with this story here. I think I may know the answer, and this only came up last night. I just learned that the house I'm living in is haunted, and since I've done some psychic stuff in the past, and even now, I may have actually been possessed. First of all, what the fuck kind of psychic Jeffrey Epstein? Listening to subliminal message YouTube videos isn't going to suddenly summon a spirit to your house that makes you want to, diddle kids, man. I don't know. It's astonishing to me that he actually thought that this would work. Anyways, he's not done with the excuses because he goes on to say this. Just check the announcement since what happened wasn't me in the flesh, but anywho, don't worry about me. I won't be going anywhere anytime soon. You just got exposed for abusing Mount. Not to mention the fact that he literally pulled the "that wasn't me" thing. So many of these people pulled, but somehow executed it in an even worse way. Even if the ghost was possessing him, wouldn't the ghost, still be in his flesh, or it would be him? I don't know, man, that's just semantics. But anyways, here's a third message that goes as follows. Let me just counter the fact that I've just learned that the house done, so the sexual misconduct stuff, forget it, that is not me. This may be hard to believe at first, but that's how it is. Possession by a pedo spirit. I love how he's not even trying to defend himself at all. He's not saying, oh, I didn't do it, they lied, it's taken out of context or whatever. He just immediately went for the pedo ghost. And obviously someone who wants to be involved with kids and acknowledges the fact that it's hard to believe, but he throws in the "at first" as if people would eventually get around to believing him. Here's the story that he tries to spin in regards to someone questioning his choice of defense. I wouldn't be so sure, you see. Last night I was sitting on the sofa with me mum, and nothing unusual going on. Suddenly one of us felt a cold chill, then back, an odd feeling in the same area of our chests. Dude, you just left a window open and you got a little draft. That's not a fucking ghost. And if you think this sounds playing, let's go over some DMs to prove the validity of the situation first. Since he's not exactly denying that they were sent by his hand, there's some more leeway here in terms of, you're an adult, you have no excuse for what you've done to me and others possibly. Mr. Pedo Ghost then says, but if you allow me to shape up, I'll be sure to not do it again, and I promise that, cross my heart. Are you kidding me? 11 years old, you were talking to them at age 11, and you were supposedly the one that wasn't mature enough. Note how nowhere in the screenshot is he denying anything. For the next one says this. Considering what I scarred you with when I was with you, I'm surprised you didn't tease him yet. I know the word cringe is kind of outdated at this point, but that's exactly what this is. My hair out. Who calls it that? Who unironically calls it that? If it wasn't clear already, this guy is a total degenerate. Line him up, boys, if you get what I'm saying. Now, let's just see how many more excuses this guy can pull out of his ass. In this section, SSG3 So let's take a look at this, shall we? Firstly, SS tries to claim that he thinks he has DA very rarely months, not 3 fucking years. He then goes on to say that he skimmed and scanned, but said nothing of that sort, so it can't be him. Someone says that they're literally screenshots of his face, and he responds with, that's horrible, then why? Why can't I remember anything? I wouldn't ever do that. Seriously, I'm trying my absolute darndest to think back, all I see is nothing. When I do, it feels like I'm floating without a body in some kind of dark void. Dude, please just shut the fuck up. This isn't a goddamn roleplay, you literally traumatized a child. Here he goes on blaming this amnesia on depression instead of DID now, saying, ooh, I hope my pills haven't caused any amnesia, which again is just not possible. I've been on a few antidepressants myself, and none of them have caused any form of memory loss. The worst antidepressants can do in terms of your memory is like make you confused. That's kind of it. At least do your fucking research if you're going to start pulling mental health excuses out of your ass like a clown pulling handkerchiefs out of his mouth. Also, here is using autism as an excuse as well. TLDR, past me was a pedo towards T, but since my mind was still young and innocent, I thought it was fine. Now I realize it, I've stopped. That's all, and this has been half a year ago. To which somebody responds asking how old he was then, and SS says, due to issues in my mental development thanks to my autism. This may sound, I don't know, 22 next May, making him 21. Remember how I said that girl was 11? Their age gap was almost as old as she was, and this isn't an issue with you being autistic, this is an issue with you being a fucking creep. I can vouch for us when we say that autistic people do not go around talking sexually to little kids. We just don't fucking do that because liking children is not a symptom of autism. There is a difference between being socially delayed and mentally delayed. Most high-functioning people, which SS probably is if he does actually have autism and this isn't another asshole, can tell the difference between an appropriate conversation with a minor and something that might land them in jail. I sincerely hate it when people try to pull mental health excuses because people lump the bad things they do in with the disorder or condition as a whole, but that's clearly not happening here considering he's so obviously grasping at straws and literally nobody's believing him at this point. Plus, what happened to the ghost? You said earlier that the pedo ghost was doing all this, that you were possessed and your house was haunted. Is that ghost now suddenly the spirit of autism? The excuse has changed so much it's hilarious. He can't even keep a story straight. If you're going to say that you were haunted by the ghost of Pedo's past, at least stick to your guns. Don't pussy out and try to change your story when nobody believes you. Anyways, the situation was fucking ridiculous. It's been a while since I've seen anything like it. It's just been a while since I came across him and I could just fucking slam like there was no tomorrow. So yeah, I can't believe I actually had to make this video, but I'm ending it now.
Excellent work, SpongeBob, me boy. Kill him. Kill him now.
So yeah, that's the end of this video's very odd topic. I had to leave a lot of details out for time's sake, so I advise you go watch Boblax's video on the topic, where I got pretty much most of the screenshots from. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you want to check out the art I draw on the backgrounds of these videos, see my thoughts on other topics, or, you know, get a commission, you can follow me on all my social medias down below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and or comment with your thoughts down below, or just check out my channel, seeing as I make more videos like this. Thanks again for tuning in. Hopefully you guys can keep your houses pedo ghost free, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.